Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about an article in HelloMagazine.com about Princess Eugenie moving to the West Coast. And as excited as I am for the prospect of Princess Eugenie being in the U.S., you know, I'm a big fan of hers. I follow her podcast and I recap her podcast, Floodlight. I love the work that she's doing in the anti-slavery collective. I just think she's pretty cool. And as excited as I am for her, come on over to America. The article itself, I took issue with. So let's get started. Once again, thank you so much for clicking on my video. If you have not already, feel free to go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on that notification bell. I want to say a big hello to all of the viewers, the watchers, subscribers, members, and Patreon members. Thank you so much. And I'm going to curtsy to the royal court. Thank you so much for all that you do. So I read this article about Princess Eugenie possibly moving on over to the U.S. Now, again, unless she says it herself or we see any of her walking up and down the streets with a realtor, then I'm probably just going to take it with a grain of salt. I will say that the media they really try to use Princess Eugenie and Prince Harry's relationship and how close-knit they are against them. And they try to create these narratives from it. We've seen so many different types of narratives spawn from them just being close. But I think Princess Eugenie's participation in the Harry and Meghan docuseries really solidified her support of her cousin and the support of her friend. And even if there is malicious intent, time will tell. If she doesn't move to the U.S., we'll know that they're a crock of shit. But if she does, then great. They got one right. So a broke clock is right twice a day. So I'm going to pull from this article, from Hello Magazine for this article, and it's called Prince Harry and Meghan Markle Spur Other Royal Family Member to Ditch UK for the US. Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank could be set to leave the UK behind. Now, this is written by Rachel Avery. Now, I have a few notes that I want to make about this article, but I'm going to wait until the end, so let's get into it. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have been living in Montecito for almost 3 years now, and it appears as though they have hopes for encouraging another royal family member to make the leap across the pond too. A fresh report by the Daily Mail suggests that the Sussexes have been encouraging Princess Eugenie and her family to consider a relocation from the UK to the US. Prince Andrew's daughter, who is currently expecting her second child with husband Jack Brooksbank, is believed to be considering the move after she welcomes her baby. So, where would Princess Eugenie live in the U.S.? The Sussexes are happily settled in the plush enclave of Montecito, with celebrity neighbors being the likes of Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, and Katy Perry, and Orlando Bloom. While this sought-after area could be a possibility for the family, it has been detailed that West Hollywood is more likely to be the chosen area for Eugenie and co. This would be around a 90-minute drive for them to visit Prince Harry, Meghan, and children Archie and Lilibet, much shorter than the 15-plus hour journey from the UK. Eugenie is no stranger to stateside living, as she lived in New York before for work from 2013 to 2015, residing in an apartment in the Meatpacking District. Is Princess Eugenie close to Prince Harry's children? Eugenie has remained very close to the Sussexes even after they stepped down as senior royals, and she has even made the trip across the pond for visits. Plus, Princess Eugenie's parenting style mimics Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's approach. Where does Princess Eugenie live now? Last year, Princess Eugenie moved out of Harry and Meghan's UK base of Frogmore Cottage, moving back into her marital home of Ivy Cottage. While the cottage is incredibly beautiful, it's bijou in size and wouldn't be suitable for the couple to raise 2 children, so it is no surprise that they are seeking out alternative accommodations. Will Princess Eugenie pay for her own home? Princess Eugenie is not a working member of the royal family, meaning she has her own normal job and takes in her own income. Her husband, Jack Brooksbank, is also a businessman and has a marketing project based at Terra Golf and Ocean Club in Portugal. While Eugenie's father, Prince Andrew, has the option to assist her financially, Eugenie will not receive accommodation support from the Crown Estate as other working royals may do. When is Princess Eugenie having her baby? In Eugenie's sweet pregnancy announcement, which included a cameo appearance of her son from her son August, she revealed that her due date is in the summer this year. While it's unlikely the royal will be more specific than that, we're sure a social media update will announce the new arrival just as she did with her firstborn. It is reported that the relocation will take place after the baby is here, so perhaps late summer or early autumn. So I wanted to talk about that because while it's great to hear that it's possible that Princess Eugenie might be moving to the United States, while it would make a lot of sense if she chose to do so, she does make her own money and she has lived in the US before. One of the things that I took issue with this article is yet again clickbaity title. It also gives Harry and Meghan an inordinate amount of control over two other people and their children. So let me take it back. The reason I have an issue with this is because the title of the article isn't Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank are considering a move to the US, which would have been great and it would have grabbed me and I would have read that and been happy to report on Princess Eugenie. Instead, it starts with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. But then the article itself has nothing to do with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, other than the fact that she loves her cousin and he loves her. Other than the fact that she's friends with Meghan. How does that have anything to do with Harry and Meghan? They already live in the US and they're doing quite well. And on top of that, this is a sourced article from the Daily Mail. So I would take that with a grain of salt. The Daily Mail will blame Harry and Meghan for anything. There's this meme of somebody riding a bike by themselves all alone. They trip over and fall. And then instead of being like, ow, they just go, Meghan. And that's exactly how the Daily Mail operates. That's how pretty much all these media outlets operate at this point. Why would you say that Prince Harry and Meghan spur other royal family member to ditch UK for the US? First of all, let me just say this. How could they possibly make anyone else move to an entirely different country? They don't have that kind of power. And then in the article itself, it dispels that narrative, considering Princess Eugenie has lived in the US before and she's having a second child, and Ivy Cottage is not going to be big enough to raise two kids. So what did that have to do with Harry and Meghan? And I just thought that was interesting because that's the narrative that people are running with. Also, it kind of makes it seem like they're recruiting royals to ditch their duty. The title itself insinuates that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle spur other royal family member to ditch UK for the US. Ditch is an intentional word. Ditching is quite a term, considering Princess Beatrice has her own real job and she is not a senior working royal. She doesn't go out and represent the crown on engagements. She has a real job. So it's not like she's no longer going to be on the balcony. She doesn't stand on the balcony, thanks to Charles and his slimmed down monarchy. So it's not even something that's realistic. I feel like they went out of their way, they jumped through hoops, and they definitely crawled through mud in order to blame Prince Harry and Meghan. Almost like a, we got away and y'all can get away too. But here's the thing. We've already identified that their system is oppressive. If they're helping to free other people who could be oppressed, then why not? But that's clear that they are not to blame for Princess Eugenie possibly moving to the US. We haven't even confirmed that she's considering moving to the United States. We don't even know. This is all speculation. We don't even know that they did include that Prince Andrew would not be helping her financially. And I don't think it's a matter of him not helping her as much as it's a matter of she can do it on her own because she and her husband are doing just fine. I will say this, unrelated topic, I'm very proud of Princess Eugenie and her work with the Anti-Slavery Collective. It's been really enlightening and a really positive experience to recap Floodlight, her podcast. Episode 2 is going to be recapped this Friday, and I'm really excited about it. It's a very good episode. I have plenty to talk about, plenty to dissect, and it seems as though a lot of you have also been enjoying the recap as well. I know a lot of you have messaged me that you're listening to it now and you had no idea how great it was. Me either. I was so happy to discover it. I would love to see that kind of push back forward to the forefront. I know someone said that the media is talking about Floodlight in order to segue into negative conversations about Harry and Meghan. I don't think that, because Floodlight came out a year ago, and it didn't have anything to do with Harry and Meghan, and the media isn't actually talking about it. That's the travesty in it. They should be talking about Floodlight. They should be talking about the Anti-Slavery Collective, awareness for some very serious issues in society, and it would be great if they did talk about Floodlight. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that the media is using Floodlight because, as far as I can see, I'm really the only person talking about it. So, and I'm not saying anything negative about Harry and Meghan. So I think sometimes people can be a bit extreme and they look forward to just going on arguing to prove their loyalty. And I think it's important for people to remember that multiple things can be true. Floodlight is a great podcast. The purpose of Floodlight and the Anti-Slavery Collective are positive, and Princess Eugenie is doing an amazing job. That is also true. She could possibly also be considering a move to the U.S., but that hasn't been confirmed. Even if it were true, and that's a big if, because it was originally reported by the Daily Mail, so that's a huge if. Even if it were true, I highly doubt a grown, accomplished woman with her own money, as well as a grown, accomplished man with his own money and their 2 kids, would move at the behest of a cousin. Like, listen, I live in Florida. My family is in Texas. My family visits me maybe once every 2 years, maybe. I would love for somebody to move out here so I could be amongst other people that I'm close with. It ain't happening, Captain. Their life is in Texas. If they choose to move to Florida, then that would be their choice. Just because I'm here first doesn't mean I made them. So it's just so weird that they jumped through hoops. Even though this could have been a great article about Princess Eugenie, they decided to blame Harry and Meghan. Look, Harry and Meghan are even the picture. They're the picture, not even Princess Eugenie. And she just had a baby announcement. She's having her 2nd child. There is a lot that could be talked about in the media for Princess Eugenie. And I think she's a great royal. I really do admire her. I like her a lot. So I like reporting on her now. And she could have carried this article all by her lonesome. She did not need Harry and Meghan's help, and they certainly didn't need to be dragged into something and blamed for something that they didn't do. Even though it would be a positive change. They seem to be adjusting very well here in the U.S. They seem to be finding their footing and really enjoying their time here. It's clear they got the privacy and the lifestyle that they deserve and they need. And it wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that Princess Eugenie wouldn't want to move back. But for those who are not aware, Harry and Meghan live on the West Coast. When Princess Eugenie lived here the first time, she lived on the East Coast. So 2 completely different worlds, essentially. So it would be interesting to see what she does do. There are plenty of homes that she could live in the UK, but it would be great if she moved to the US. It would also make my job a lot easier of reporting on her projects and things like that, because I really do like her. And I do think I'm going to spend a little time of researching Princess Beatrice as well. You know, Princess Eugenie might be moving to the US. And while that might be true, just keep in mind, we don't know. Mama could be buying a vacation home and people are freaking out. I haven't seen any photos of her with a realtor. We haven't had any confirmed statements from either party, the Sussexes or Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank. I just think it's a lot of speculation. I think people lost their minds when they saw Princess Eugenie support Harry by being in Harry and Meghan, the docuseries. They are itching for her to pick a side because she also went to Kate's Christmas pageant thing, and she makes it a point to not get involved in stuff. But we do know there have been tensions between her and Will and Kate for a few years, so it doesn't surprise me that she's close. She seems to be closer to Harry, and I think people are looking for any reason to take that relationship and turn it into a story. So if it helps, I think it's important to remember that people are free to do whatever the hell they want to, and although their cousins might live somewhere else, that doesn't mean that they can be forced to move. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle spur other royal family member to ditch UK for US. That is an intentionally negative title. It is an intentionally negative headline. And while the author and the writer of this article probably doesn't write the headline, usually it's the editor, using Harry and Meghan's photo and then using this intentionally negative headline is intentional. Y'all know what y'all doing. It's just weird. This could have been a very positive story. It's interesting that's the route you guys take. So in addition to that, I also wanted to include another version of this story that was written by another news outlet called Bold News. And in that article, this is what it said. Now follow me here. This is what was said. Harry and Meghan have reportedly been sending the 32-year-old details of homes close to where they live in Montecito, according to a friend of Eugenie and Brooksbank, who allegedly rumbled them. However, there are rumors that the couple, who just revealed they were expecting their 2nd child, would prefer homes in the West Hollywood neighborhood of Los Angeles and intend to rent before making the move to America. Since Eugenie lived in New York for 2 years while working for an auction house between 2013 and 2015, moving to the US wouldn't be entirely unfamiliar to her. According to one source, with a growing family, it all feels like it is about new starts. This isn't just a pipe dream. Harry and Eugenie have always been close, and Harry revealed in his shocking autobiography that they hugged as if they were sisters the first time they saw Meghan.
Terrible sandwich, by the way.
Thanks for letting me know.
In February 2021, the disgraced Prince Andrew's daughter gave birth to her first child, but only a week ago she flaunted her expanding baby bump as she went out to dinner with her mother, Sarah Ferguson, in London. So again, that's on Bold News, and they went out of their way to try and pull in negative connotation. But here's the craziest part to me. They seem to have all these details, but not one confirmation. They know that they're considering West Hollywood. They know that it's because Princess Eugenie is dividing her time between Portugal and London. They have all this information, but not one confirmation. And somehow, amongst all of this ambiguity, Harry and Meghan are still to blame. It would be funny if it just weren't so pathetic. It's just so interesting that what could have been, again, a very positive story about Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank, who are both adults in their 30s with children and a whole life outside of their relationships with their cousins. It's so funny that they are considered to be under the control of the Sussexes, who probably don't give a damn where they live. They clearly don't mind traveling to see one another. Like, this is just pretty bogus. Just clearly another intentional use of Harry and Meghan for clickbait. But the fact that they even have details such as Harry and Meghan are sending them listings. What friend? Who said this? It's almost like they're trying to gear up for like the early stages of the narrative that Harry and Meghan are trying to divide the royal family and pick apart the royal family. I do feel like they're kind of leaning in that direction already with some of the things that they're saying, like they're trying to abolish the monarchy. But Harry and Meghan have never said that. I've said it. Plenty of people say it. Plenty of people with YouTube say it all the time. They've never said that publicly. They're trying to make it look like Harry and Meghan are trying to pull apart the royal family and separate everybody. But they on one hand, they can blame Harry and Meghan for spurring other royals to ditch the UK for the US, but they don't have anything to say about Charles openly admitting that he wants a slimmed down monarchy and he wants to exclude other parties. I'll see that balcony at the Platinum Jubilee. It looked scarce. It looked like picked apart bones. I felt like for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and her last Jubilee, why wouldn't you have every single family member on the balcony? That would have been an amazing show of support and really showed a strength in the monarchy. To have it slimmed down just looked like picked over leftovers. It didn't look great. It definitely wasn't the right image in my opinion, but that's just me. Pessimistic. When I first saw that, you know, they could be moving to the US, the first thing I said was, oh, BS. If they didn't say it, I don't believe it. Princess Eugenie uses her social media for all kinds of things. She is very open with her voice. She definitely communicates via social media. She definitely announced her pregnancy and the birth of her baby. And if she is, I will wait for her to say it. But if it is true, great, come on over. And also, if you're gonna be mad or try to make it a negative thing that she's moving to the US and try in some way by jumping through hoops to blame them, then why don't you have equal criticism for Prince Charles slimming down the monarchy? And why didn't you say anything when that balcony looked so scarce? There was so much space between everybody and everyone looked miserable. So that's all I've got to say about this topic, but I am interested in what your opinion of the matter is. First of all, one, do you think Princess Eugenie could possibly be moving to the US? Where do you think that story comes from? If you think it's true and that they just have it from a real good friend, then please tell me. But if you don't think it's true, who do you think created the story and what would be the purpose? It might be true. I think it's a possibility. But if it's not true, I do think they're trying to start igniting a narrative that Harry and Meghan are picking apart the royal family. That's just because why else say they spur other royals to ditch the UK for the US? Y'all don't even be looking for Eugenie. Y'all sit there and call Kate the English Rose. Y'all don't ever bring up Eugenie or Beatrice. Why would y'all care what they do? They should come over here and be treated well. Apparently, everybody else is getting slimmed down and getting excluded. So anyway, that's all I've got to say about it. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, so please don't forget to leave them in the comment section below. If you have not already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.